Leeward 851, turn right, heading 180. Order 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established.
It's been a busy week for Singapore Airlines within the aviation industry as they've continued their recovery from the pandemic. Today's focus centres around their expansive route network, which has taken additional steps towards recovery. The airline last week resumed its non-stop Singapore to Newark service with its A350. With more than 18 hours and 30 minutes in the air for its journey, the flight has quickly become one of the airline's flagships, with people worldwide, especially aviation enthusiasts, flocking to try it out in any way, shape or form. Additionally, alongside the Airbus A350 resuming its ultra-long-haul service to Newark, Singapore Airlines has put its A380 back in the skies on a service to New York JFK. The aircraft landed on the 28th of March for the very first time in 2 years, following, of course, a lengthy hiatus. Now, this stemming from the pandemic, meaning operations were significantly reduced through to the United States, and this was one of the many routes that was cut at the time. The airline now will serve destinations within the United States, including Newark, JFK, Seattle, Houston, San Francisco, and Los Angeles with its own aircraft. The Singapore Airlines VP for the Americas commented on the relaunch of various routes within the industry to the United States, saying the following. SIA is firmly committed to rebuilding our US route network, and today's relaunch of larger A350 aircraft and our restart of non-stop flights at Newark is a proof positive of that commitment. The pandemic saw our flight schedule reduced from 57 weekly services to just 3. Since then, we've diligently worked to re-establish connectivity from crucial US cities to Singapore. The airline, I want to once again reiterate, at one point only flew 3 weekly services to the United States from Singapore. Now, this was during the height of the pandemic, and as mentioned by the VP, so the rebuilding of its network to almost 60 weekly services can be commended and highlights the rapid reintroduction of aircraft and routes for them. Even more so, it's actually been fantastic to see the reintroduction of the Airbus A380 at the Changi-based carrier. During the pandemic, a lot of uncertainty was there over whether the aircraft moving forward would actually return in any capacity with the airline, due to generally what it brings to the industry nowadays in 2022, which unfortunately for most carriers was inefficient operations and more downsides than the positives could outweigh, and that's why we saw many airlines make the decision to retire all their Airbus A380s from their operations during the pandemic. They believed it was the best possible time, although some really did hold on to the faith that there would be a further use for the aircraft type moving forward. And that's why it's so lucky that we're seeing the Airbus A380 return with Singapore Airlines and other carriers around the world, like your Qantas's, British Airways, Emirates, and more. What are your thoughts on Singapore Airlines finally announcing the further expansion of their route network, or should I maybe say the rebuild? Do let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for the continued support. Enjoy your week ahead, and I'll see you next time.